the man discovered something strange in the wild. A baby appeared in the middle of the desert, and the baby was chewing on something unknown, even calling out for his mom. The man thought he was seeing things, so he decided to hurry back to the city. After all, there were endless dangers in the wilderness. But strangely enough, after a few steps he ran into another boy. Through questioning, Jeff found out the boy got separated from his parents. But when Jeff tried to help him, the boy walked deeper into the desert. For the boy's safety, Jeff decided to follow him, but the boy ran through the desert for a full half hour. Ahead was a dead zone with no signal. Jeff hurriedly stopped the boy and gave him the last of his water. But Jeff had no idea that his act of kindness was about to bring endless nightmares. After the boy finished drinking, Jeff tried to pull him back, but the boy suddenly broke free. At first Jeff thought he was just being playful.
Stop. You have to get to somewhere.
Let me go,
okay?
Being called crazy, Jeff could only let the boy leave. As the boy walked away, he gave a creepy smile. Seeing it was getting dark, Jeff decided to head home, but he got lost in the desert, and his phone had no signal. He found a cave to get through the night, but in panic he heard a sound. He followed the noise bravely, and found a cliff valley. As he got closer, he saw a house with lights on, and a woman standing outside about to go in. Jeff was overjoyed. He climbed down the cliff using the ladder, but strangely the ladder was only halfway down. He had no choice but to switch to a chain ladder. Little did he know that this ladder would lead him straight into a nightmare. Soon Jeff arrived outside the house, but no one answered after he knocked for a long time. Seeing the lights still on inside, Jeff didn't care anymore. He went straight to the woman. He said he got lost in the desert, and asked if she could help him. But the woman didn't respond. She just told Jeff to sit down and eat. Jeff had no choice but to agree. Despite her warm hospitality, Jeff had no appetite for the food in the bowl, while the woman ate with great pleasure. Maybe because he was in a bad mood, Jeff dumped all his food into her bowl, and only asked for a glass of water. Seeing her eat happily, Jeff quickly asked to borrow a phone, but the woman said she lived alone, had no relatives, so she didn't have a phone. Seeing Jeff was in a hurry, she told him to stay the night. With no other choice, Jeff agreed, but he couldn't sleep all night. The next morning, while the woman was still asleep, Jeff left some money and prepared to leave, but to his shock, the chain ladder was gone. Only the top half was still fixed to the rock wall. With no way out, he returned to the house. Seeing the woman still asleep, he had to wait by the door. Bored, he took out his camera and found something strange. Weird paintings on the wall, a giant cage behind the house, even a goat head for ritual use. While Jeff kept taking pictures, the woman woke up and started working. Jeff quickly asked about the ladder, why it had disappeared, but she didn't answer. Jeff didn't press further. Instead, he helped her work. After they finished, the woman finally spoke.
I don't know where it is. People use it sometimes. Could be there later.
But Jeff couldn't wait anymore. He tried climbing up the valley wall, but it was too steep to climb. After several tries, he gave up. Then he started washing off the dirt. The woman enthusiastically offered to help him with water and laundry, but Jeff refused. He just wanted to go back to the city. The woman asked if he was going back to his wife. Jeff said he was single, but unexpectedly, the woman became extra friendly. Late at night, Jeff still couldn't sleep. Seeing her fast asleep, he went outside to check the ladder, but it was still gone. The next morning, Jeff took action. He found a hoe in a drawer and began climbing by himself, but the wall was too hard. He made little progress each time. Still, the hope of returning home pushed him on. But when Jeff looked up, a hand suddenly dropped from above. He found a hoe in a drawer and began climbing by himself, but the wall was too hard. He made little progress each time. Still, the hope of returning home pushed him on. But when Jeff looked up, a hand suddenly dropped from above. He didn't wake up until late at night from the pain. The hoe had pierced his leg. The pain nearly made him faint. Luckily, the woman found him and treated his wound. The next morning, while Jeff was still half conscious, he saw a child's figure, but soon fell asleep again. After half a month of recovery, Jeff could finally walk out of the house, but the chain ladder was still missing. In anger, he dragged the woman out and demanded to know where it went. The woman was too scared to speak. Jeff kept accusing her of trapping him, but the woman said,
I can look after you. I can take care of you.
Hearing her mumble about taking care, so serious about it, Jeff broke down completely. When he sat down to rest, two boys appeared on the cliff above. Jeff waved for help. The boys asked if he needed assistance. Jeff told them what happened and begged them to get him out, saying he'd reward them handsomely. The boys happily agreed, but said they needed to get a rope first. Jeff was overjoyed, watching them walk away. He felt salvation was near. Soon a rope was thrown down. The boys told him to tie himself up. Jeff did as told, but he didn't notice. One of the boys looked strangely at him. Minutes later, Jeff was being pulled up. He was thrilled, but suddenly something went wrong.
Hey! Easy!
things were not that simple. The boys above vanished. No matter how Jeff yelled, no one responded. He hung in the air struggling, but soon his strength ran out. Under the desert sun, he fainted. Then a stream of liquid poured down. A boy above was urinating. Jeff felt humiliated, but he was hanging helpless. The boys kept swinging the rope, and there was more than one. Jeff could only sway helplessly. The lost boy was among them. Clearly they were like a family. Jeff shouted from below, begging them to let him go. Then suddenly, the swaying stopped, and Jeff passed out after hitting his head. When he woke up it was night, but he still refused to give up. His body was failing though. The woman came out of the house. Seeing his miserable state, she told him to save his strength. Jeff asked who those boys were. The woman said they were just wanderers in the desert, and told Jeff to stay calm, otherwise he'd suffer more.
Don't poke sticks in the nest. Be silent. Works for me.
Desperate Jeff tried to scream, but the boys surrounded him again, all glaring at him. A month passed. Jeff accepted reality. He lived an ordinary life with the woman at the bottom of the valley. When the woman saw his sleeve torn, she brought out some men's clothes and told him to pick one. Jeff didn't know where they came from, but put it on anyway. He even started growing vegetables. The boys above often dropped supplies. Jeff was completely under control. Maybe it was the food and wine. When Jeff asked if the woman wanted to escape, she said she preferred to stay. Jeff couldn't understand. That night after dinner, a strange noise came from outside. Jeff grabbed an axe and limped out. The boys were dressed oddly, running wildly like lunatics. Jeff panicked. They pinned him to the ground. After being mocked and toyed with, Jeff completely broke down. He went inside and demanded answers from the woman, why she kept him trapped. But the woman calmly said this place wasn't bad. She was willing to stay with him forever. That night they both got drunk and did what adults do. The next morning Jeff woke beside her. He stepped outside, but didn't notice. The pillar was covered with old bottle caps. Another month passed. His vegetables grew. One boy got curious. He asked how Jeff grew them. Jeff saw a chance to escape. He gained the boy's trust with planting skills. The boy even offered to bring him a Coke. Jeff finally had hope. That night Jeff noticed the old photos on the wall. The woman said it was her grandmother, who had lived there her whole life. She didn't know much about her, but knew her grandmother loved her, just like she would love the child in her belly. Jeff realized she was pregnant. To him it was a nightmare. Who would want their child born in a valley like this? But the woman said,
I'm telling you that there's a child coming from your seed. How you deal with that is your choice.
Jeff realized he was just a tool. Even though he hated it, he had no way out. Over time his leg healed. He kept training every day, hoping to escape. One day the boy returned. He didn't bring the Coke. Jeff said it didn't matter. He'd still teach him farming and share more knowledge, but only if he helped Jeff escape. He even promised to bring the woman along and start a new family together. The boy seemed tempted, but said he'd have to find a chance. Just as Jeff kept persuading, a long-haired boy came and took him away. That night Jeff was thrilled. He told the woman about the outside world and promised to show her everything. The woman was moved. To give her hope, Jeff showed her his old photos, but the next day the woman screamed. The boy was hanging dead in the valley. Jeff froze in fear, while the woman cried on the ground. Then Jeff realized, all those boys were her sons, and they had trapped Jeff, to make him breed new generations. The men's clothes in the closet, and the bottle caps at the door, proved Jeff wasn't the first victim. Before he could react, the woman hit him with a plank. Jeff was locked in a cage, his mind completely broken, mumbling nonsense every day, until one day a girl appeared on the cliff. Jeff crawled to the bars, and whispered to her. She noticed him too. After learning the truth, she promised to call the police. Jeff finally had real hope, but before long, the girl was caught by the boys, and killed in front of him. Jeff collapsed completely. That night the woman brought him a blanket. He tried to beg for mercy.
Father, all. We can make it more. And all that you can do, you can love.
No matter how he begged, the woman coldly said he was just a tool from the start. Their family didn't need outsiders, and the only reason he was still alive was because tradition required the father to live until the child was born. Soon the woman went into labor. Though she had experience, this pain felt strange. She opened the cage and called Jeff, asking him to help deliver the baby. Seeing her desperate, Jeff agreed to help, but as he was about to go back inside, he saw the chain ladder lowered down. He dropped everything and ran toward it. The woman screamed behind him in pain. When Jeff realized reached the ladder, he saw the boys waiting above. Then came the sound of a baby crying. The woman had given birth to a girl. Seeing new life born, Jeff forgot to run. The woman smiled happily, saying the girl would carry on her legacy and bring new life to the family. Before Jeff could react, a boy stabbed him from behind. And so in the end, Jeff fulfilled his role as a tool.